Tenemos la presentación del libro One Upon a Time, Occupied Aztlan, de la maestra Consuelo Santamaría Aguirre y Scott Duncan. Bueno, se- ah, la maestra Consuelo Santamaría es licenciada en Letras Hispánicas y maestra en Estudios México-Estados Unidos por la UNAM. Actualmente es profesora de tiempo completo en el área de Lingüística de la licenciatura en Enseñanza de Inglés y profesora definitiva en Literatura en Lengua Inglesa. Sus líneas de investigación se centran en la poesía como factor de resiliencia, las narrativas identitarias de estudiantes universitarios y la alfabetización académica. Perdón. El Scott Russell Duncan, a Chicano Writer. Mm, Bueno, Consuelo, no sé si quieras presentar al Scott Russell Duncan,
Sí,
por
Marta, si
favor,
quieres,
porque es
Chicano
que no,
Writer,
ajá,
¿mandé?
sí, sí, es que está,
Sí, no te preocupes.
ujú, no,
Editó la primera antología de ciencia ficción chicana, El Porvenir Ya, Citlalsasnali Mexicatl. Es creador y editor del Chicano Futurismo, Gritos for Tomorrow, Codex 1 y 2. Es director de Palabras del Pueblo, taller de escritura y co-creador de la editorial Mais Popping Press. Tiene una novela, Old California Strikes Back, que es un recuerdo, unas memorias mágicas y una metanovela que se describe como una combinación entre Fear and Loathing en Las Vegas y Yo soy Joaquín, que se publicó a través de Flower Song Press. Y pues está con nosotros también el autor de este libro que vamos a presentar, El Indio Copyright 1985 o simplemente El Indio. Es Chicano Ballero from Sun Valley, Sor Califas. Es un artista visual y poeta que ha producido obra mayormente digital y multimedia de imágenes históricas y populares. Se centra en la iconografía chicano y mexicana y es como una combinación entre Andy Warhol, Emiliano Zapata, con su ideología revolucionaria y con un toque de Frida Kahlo y su surrealismo, y un poco de Banksy como una técnica urbana. Y es un honor que nos acompañen hoy en esta presentación del libro Once Upon a Time in Occupied Aztlan. Entonces, primero le cedo la palabra a Scott como editor para que nos inicie en la presentación de este libro.
Can you hear me okay? Thank you
Yes.
very much for
Yes,
having
indeed.
me.
Yes, many thanks.
Okay, I only know Spanglish, so you guys don't want to hear that. I more or less understand you guys. Uh, but thanks again for having me. I guess I should start off and telling you about my East Popping Press. We're a new press. Once Upon a Time, well, I mix these books up anyway. Once Upon a Time in Occupied Aztlan's our first book, and it just launched in April. But about our press, our tagline is we publish radical imagination and resistance writing that pops. So we seek to encourage writing like the Once Upon a Time in Occupied Aztlan, which addresses our community directly, because we see that we need our own cultural artifacts and we can't leave our imagination to others, to other gatekeepers. And I think the popping part means that we want work that's relevant, but and that work that's cool, and we want work that has juice and does stuff for the community. We're a small press. We have members in several states, but we're mostly located in California. I think maybe I should say a few things about Once Upon a Time in Occupied Aztlan. It's a unique book. It's a story in epic poetic form with illustrations that details the life and conditions of a family moving from Mexico to Southern California, living life, dealing with trauma, cultural loss, and then eventually having an educational and spiritual awakening. And how this book reflects family life, or you might call it verisimilitude, is what I think most Chicanics readers that I've come across have latched onto. It's also, again, that they're the first audience that you can see because the book includes English, Spanish, Spanglish, Kalo, Chicano English, and prison Nahuatl. So it's really easy to get reviewers for. I'm just joking. No, it speaks to a certain community, and I think this community like obviously reacts to it, and we've gotten a lot of support. Um, Really quickly, the book's production was unique as well. El Indio, copyright 1985, which he, for lack of a better word, he contacted many people throughout the Chicanx community, asking for advice on what was his first poem because he was at first only a visual artist, and in this kind of Chicano grapevine way, he built a connection and community with people from like social justice thinkers, artists, teachers, poets, of course, and social media influences, and other people that weren't necessarily involved in writing. So he got an amazing amount of feedback. You could see if you have the book, it's reflected in the amount of blurbs we have, and to me, it just shows that there's a really great response to this book. And that kind of leads to what I said, like there's a lot of community life and reflection of like how the Chicano experience, which I'm also from Southern California, and I, obviously connected as well. So it's better to hear from the author though. So I'm maybe I should turn it over to Alendio if you're okay with that.
Please do so. Yeah, no problem. Many thanks.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
he's having. Oh,
escuchan,
there you
yeah, me
go. I
escuchan
can hear
bien.
you.
Sí,
See?
sí.
Pues muchísimas gracias a tenerlos, a us. Ya como se fijaron, somos chicanos y hablamos en inglés, un poco de español y Spanglish. Pero no, man, muchísimas gracias para tenerlos y como la hermana, la profa, María del Consuelo me dijo que tengo unos, 10 minutos a, compartir, unos, how do you say in Spanish, sections or parts of the poem. Um,
Abstractos, secciones del poema.
hey, órale, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no.
At your service, sir.
No, thank you. Es bien difícil, como les dije, que somos pochos, somos chicanos y I mean, we do what we can to communicate, a comunicar con ustedes, pero así es la cosa, Yeah, quería empezar con el chapter one y después de eso, tengo otra, I have another section in the book, en el libro, que se llama Aztlan. Y como ahorita, es un bien, si me puedes ayudar, it's a very heated topic, ¿qué es Aztlan? You know?
Es un asunto, tópico controversial.
Hey, and y yo quería ponerlo en unas palabras, a enseñar a la
Okay.
gente o la raza o por todos que Aslan no nomás es político, también es una idea o un locación común de gente, de raza, de chicanos, mexicanos, indios, Native Americans, a shared experience en un área. Pero ahí voy a empezar con el chapter one. Y como les dije, como somos chicanos, pochos, está en inglés la mayoría, pero hay unos momentos que está en español. Just a second. Bueno, what they know about us. Sorry. What they know about us. Desde lo oscuro en las noches panting breaths of whirlwinds. Our future parents, Ama y Apa, along with the upcoming baby, restlessly kicking the inner walls of Ama's ripe, blossoming belly. They all gamble their lives, cross their souls, and run away from Elumo, the billowing steam and smoke of raging, surging waters, clashing, blazing, furious fires, where vapid, wilting flowers fall and scatter. And above their heads to the left, a bright, migrating blue hummingbird emerges frantically, erratically, zigzagging, scourging ruins for any leftover crumbs of nectar. Our fierce bird's piercing, fractured reflections shatters on the face of waves, of rippling waters. Nuestra chupa rosa's pulsing, flapping wings fanning las chispas del fuego's roaring, hissing flames. Our parents' feet flee smacking the earth, resounding, pounding echoes of sirens y alarmas through jacales, calis, calpulis, barrios de gente, and the chaos of rampant poverty, governed by corrupt governments, puppet politicians, civil wars, carteles, narcos, que corren, corren, y ahí van echándole pie, bajo bajo la luz amable de la luna llena azul, tirando suaves sombras over our glorious ancestors, unearthed throbbing jades and swaying plumes of powerful primordial pyramids, palacios, templos, stoneworks, statues y altares now flowered over with countless holy crosses, and endless seeds of prayer beads prayed along the strings of sacred rosaries, rosarios. And they pay the desert's clever coyotes small fortunes in exchange for guidance, wisdoms, acting as maps to trek over and under barren deserts and hand-burrowed mazes of tunnels, under long lines of fences crowned with endless spirals of razor-sharp barbed wires, enduring blaring heat, cold, famine, thirst, and fatigue, reaching migrant border crossings that crossed us, dodging reckless drivers through streets, freeways, highways, underpasses, following the sun sinking down into the slithering darkness of the road. And in their darkest time, our soon-to-be parents finally find themselves crash landing, ama, in full labor, into tomorrow's blistering sunrise. And el otro lado, where they find shelter in the so-called first world's rural and urban ghettos, in those once lawfully, now llamados, self-segregated red line niches, filled with enclaves of every lengua's hue along the racial rainbow of the world's makeup. Nuestros padres seeking asylum, in a mask of modern liberal chants of nationalistic rallying cries for both tradition and diversity. As liberty's bright lights burnt out, her extended arm closed tight, those long legs stretched wide open to a stolen land and its own people boasting itself, a quote-unquote immigrant nation, Babel, as that rainbow's core is set aglow only after the now traditional experience of hyphenated peoples being hazed in rituals of turbulent tormentas of hate, of otherness, of rains, of thunders, of lightning hit with cold winds of ethnocentric, Eurocentric resentment, fueled by cruel and in the all too usual assimilation into the pasty, melting pot of striving away for the highest white picket fenced off all-American dream. That's chapter 1. Y como les expliqué, there's the next section. I was granted 10 minutes, 10 minutos to share some of the readings of the book. El libro, it follows una familia de mexicanos and sus chicano pochos that are, que salen en ese lado, and they go to school, they go to work. One of them goes to jail or prison, and then another pair of twins, cuates, they go to el colegio, they go to university, and they learn and they become radicalized about aprenden el concepción, or I'm sorry, the idea of Aztlan. And as our hermano right here shared or helped me explain, Aztlan right now it's a very heated topic. Are we colonizers? Are we part of the oppression? Are we, like, what is it about? And hay un Native American Indian, J.D. Forbes, un writer, a
Escritor.
political activist, que lo puso en palabras bien fácil, like, Aztlán es an area sin frontera, pero it's a very specific experiencia, it's a very specific experience. A donde encuentras frijoles, a donde encuentras nopales, a donde encuentras desierto, a donde encuentras una cultura bien bueno, espacial, pero también común. Y si eres de un tribu o no, si eres Mexican American, quote unquote, o si eres chicano, más o menos sí existe. Y él lo llamaba, he called it, Aztlan. Later down the line, we had, uh, radicalized Chicanos that they really ramped it up and like, no, it's the seven stolen states. That's what it is. Pero the way I picture it, como lo tengo en mente, es that es un región, it's a region a donde somos, I mean, what else can you say? Like, somos si no hermanos, somos primos, Anyways, this is the poem within the poem where unos par de cuates, they're assigned a task to write a poem, and they called it Aztlan. Okay, bueno, Aztlan. Aztlan, the place where the sun rises up red, y quema, through the morning's gray mists that float over valleys of yellow deserts, nestled between montañas and hilltops, crowned with caps of white snow, surrounded down below by emeralds of oceans and lakes and rivers that blow flowing water onto las caras y las espaldas de pierdas negras and gold sands de playas. Aztlán, the place donde el sol blanco brilla over dusty roads and winding highways, carrying puttering carruchas with sunburnt paint, struggling to carry our people to work, to pluck frutas ricas on farms, or efficiently produce products in factories, or build lavish homes for other people, otra gente. But instead of thinking of such things that come later, now our people driving, they sit during the drive thinking little at all about nothing in particular, behind murky dirt smeared windshields, revealing dashboards caked with rainbows of colorful sarapes and strands of twisted braids of the sweetest sweet grass, overshadowed by swinging crosses at the bottom of rosaries and fine feathers dangling at the tips of circling webs of dream catchers hanging from rearview mirrors of clunky cars, carruchas, tearing through rolling tumbleweeds, caught in the wind's breath that eventually stop at corners where viejitas gritan, tamales, 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 Aztlán, the place where you find el barrio, the projects, the res, pueblos, surrounded by walls, spray painted end to end with graffiti, where small children grow browner, se emprietan under the sun, sharing fun, playing canicas that smack and scatter or pull little white strings wrapped around wooden trompos, so they spin in el piso as little rainbows after they run barefoot, jugando las escondidas, ding dong ditch, tag you're it, or smack pelotas, tethered balls to the very tops of public stop signs, altos, as sus patitas pegan la tierra and dirt clouds rise as they race around and around giant yellow-lined azul verde spears and spikes de las plantas magueyes. Their tiny feet stop only the little black hole at the little black hole in el suelo below that makes the brown ground and blue air all around vibrate, que vibra, as the coiled snake inside shakes its warning rattles that pierce and tear through all around. Y los chavalitos share fear than laughter, and instead they chase those golden ringing bells del pareltero that competes con el erotero's honking horn. Pero los dos eventually lose to the roach coaches y taqueros that sprout out as the juicy orange sun falls, melting down to the ground, and street lights buzz and blink on and off, signaling to cada chavalo, ya estuvo, it's time to go home, o te va a dar un chiclazo tu mom. Aztlán, the place where lowly trailer parks, apartments, and aspiring houses, in lesser words, are modest homes, surround themselves with hand-washed clothes and thin strands of meat, soon to be beef jerky, hanged on lines to dry under the bright sun and guava mi
No vuelvas
spiro.
a pasar. No eres peatón. Senor Bill, please mute.
¿Todo bien?
Sí, es nada
Listo,
más
sí,
una
ya.
persona que no tiene
Sí,
su
ya.
micrófono apagado.
Listo. Continuamos, please.
Bueno, the idea
Forward.
is that these are like trailer parks and projects and apartments and mobile homes in the desert. To dry under the bright sun, and guava, mispiro, and lemon trees grow over stalks, green gardens, fruitful milpas, de las tres hermanas, ancestrales, indígenas, maíz first, of course, con frijoles second, rising up, wrapping all around to make everything firm, firme, mientras down below the third sister crop, calabazas, con sus hojas grandes, magníficas, dan sombra a la tierra, next to tomates, chilitos y jalapenos that also grow rapidly, ravishly, shedding their fragrant scents right outside our little windows, ventanas, frames showcasing our people inside, living humble lives in even humbler homes where Español y Spanglish and bits of Nahuatl and accented English along with Galo, and also in other homes, even more other native words y lenguas are spoken and understood. A place where homes are enclosed by walls decorated with rich imagery, the flicas de cada family member showing off glittering gold and silver teeth and necklaces, or portraits flaunting precious gems and turquoise stones, prideful pictures that in some homes hang adjacent to ornate paintings de la Virgen de Guadalupe, while others have hanged on walls velvet paintings of indios riding caballos, hunting sacred buffaloes, and soaring eagles circling round a red bone. Un indio in full regalia, hair pipe, chest plate, feathered headdress, long black locks, and all. Aztlan, a place where homes have doorways sitting under horseshoes, and again, strings of prayer beads of rosaries rest on tables near burnt copal, and in other homes, or both, multicolored beads and in strings of beautiful beadwork coupled with fine feathers rest and sit, then swing back and forth as our apás walk shirtless with brown panzas ballooning out, while little children run to wash their hands porque our mas almost have dinner done. A place where homes smell of frijoles boiling and chiles roasting, blowing their billowing scents in each and every room, whereas other rooms are filled with the smell of dough molded into flaps fried into fry bread, and in others masa is slapped and clapped into handmade tortillas to roast over el comal. Aztlan, the place where our neighbors share our sacred ancestors, our mirrors, looking so much like us, feeling so much like us, hurting and healing so much like us. The place where outside at night, the round glowing moon rises way up high into the sky's gigante, deep black and blue bowl filled with bright white bursted open popcorn, those stars shimmering, glittering, mientras every soft outstretched leaf and petal on the flower growing on the tip of each spiky nopal folds up and closes down as packs of scavenging coyotes run by, cracking their howling laughter, a la bellísima luna up above. Aztlan, the place we've carved for ourselves out of their stolen states and borderlines, their American dream, our un-American nightmare, the place many left, many stayed, and many more returned to, the place that reflects us, always accepts us, the place we came from, the place we go to. Also, most importantly, to paraphrase una chicana's wise words, Aztlan, the place that is with us everywhere we go. And also, it's also the place we make for ourselves wherever we go. So remember that, raza. Que viva Aztlan. Fin.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Tengo aquí una pequeñísima presentación para cerrar. Espero que no nos tome mucho tiempo. Pues como ven, para nuestro Centro de Enseñanza de Idiomas, nuestra FES Acatlán y nuestra UNAM, es todo un honor contar con la presencia de El Indio y de Scott. Entonces, solo quiero cerrar con tres pequeños puntos, ¿no? Como vemos, este libro de poemas no solo es su primera obra, sino que es un compendio de toda la tradición chicana de historia, de literatura, de arte. Él ya leyó este fragmento y se trata de reclamar el territorio desde la lengua, las lenguas, o sea, todas las lenguas, no importa, es una comunicación multilingüe y una pluralidad lingüística. Tengo también, por ejemplo, del capítulo que se llama Macuili 5.5, donde nos habla de la experiencia de la cárcel, que fue una de las partes que a mí más me impresionaron. Una persona chicana en cárcel. Mira nomás, young brown men standing turned around with our hands on our heads, handcuffed, falling down to our knees. Y así como en esta parte, en muchas otras va diciendo our hands, our body, our head, hasta que terminamos nosotros siendo parte de este poema. No es el cuerpo de una persona, es nuestro cuerpo, ¿no? Somos uno con este hablante lírico del poema. Y en otra sección del poema nos dice, and our corazón, with glowing alegría, reflected on the face of the blissful, shimmering, sweet morning dew, resting in el nopali blooming Xochitl floor, with its swirling corolla de la familia Scandinochtli corazón opening. Entonces, ven ustedes aquí cómo el indio captura todas esas lenguas y podemos cerrar con esto, no hay errores, solo la experiencia liberadora de la poesía, o sea, es su visión. Es un desafío para lectores. Esto solo lo podría leer alguien con experiencia bilingüe, ya sea estudiante de inglés en México o persona de la comunidad chicana o bilingüe en algún otro país. Es un desafío lingüístico accesible a través del arte y un sentido de identidad. Así como él comparte esta experiencia, la invitación es a unirnos. Como dijo él, a lo mejor no somos hermanos, pero sí somos primos. O sea, encontrar puentes y no muros que nos dividan, ¿no? Muchísimas gracias. Es todo por mi parte. La verdad es un honor tener aquí a Scott y tener aquí el indio. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, thank you, plazos.
Hay una pregunta, Consuelo.
Sí, para el autor probablemente, este, el indio, in which way do you articulate these different voices and languages or experience inside the poem? How do you manage to put them together?
Así como estoy hablando ahorita, like, some words, like, lo puedo decir en español, otras palabras en inglés, pero hay unos, palabras como calo o náhuatl, que, yeah, it doesn't translate, if you're not, I mean, hay una expresión in the US, if you're not in the mud. Si no es if you're not, si no traes la experiencia, like, you're not gonna get it. No, no you're not gonna understand, like, es bien difícil, like. Entonces, este libro sí es, yeah, como el Scott dijo, like, yo estaba preguntando, estaba buscando gente o raza, por aviso, like, hey, like, does this sound right? Le pregunté a mi papá, le pregunté a mi mamá, le pregunté a mi hermana, mi hermano, mi tía, mis tíos, mis homies, académicos también. Like, hey, does this, like, si pega o no, like, pica o no. Y ya unas veces me dijeron que no, man, así no se dice. Like, así se dice, or maybe usa esta palabra or use this word instead of this one porque um, you know
The sense
uh,
changes.
yeah, like the context, the well, there's a lot of different words you can use. Hay muchísimas de palabras que puedes usar, pero si uno lo está leyendo y no le cae bien, okay, pues, dime, pues, like, well, how can I change it para mejorarlo, you know? But anyway, to your point or to the question o a la pregunta, like, yeah, man, es pura se siente bien, like if it feels right, you know, it comes from a feeling, a place of feeling. And then also como María del Consuelo, la profa, like she said that, what was she saying? She pointed out, como n- no hay un parte que, a mí sí hay un parte, pero la mayoría del libro no le pongo I, me, or I, you know,
Ujú.
el solo persona, you know, or la sola persona. Like, yeah, it was a point. Like, le puse, like, deliberately somos, or we, or our, como somos una comunidad. Y si no somos hermanos o hermanas, somos primos o primas, you know? Like, I try to make that a point, but yeah.
Excellent. Here is a comment from Professor Marta Palacios. She says she's quite moved. It feels like concrete poetry. She loves poetry, and she says that it feels like coming from a wound from the earth, your poetry
Thank you. Yeah. Coming from the womb, uh, um,
of earth.
yeah, that's yeah. I think honestly, hermana, profile, like what I was trying to do was um make it come from a place that that's like it's very tender and raw. You know,
Mhm.
like it's not I mean I wanted to write it in a way, lo quería escribir en una manera que I mean, you don't need a college degree to understand what's being expressed or said, which is why it's in so many different um languages or expressed in so many different ways. Um, but yeah, like it's supposed to be um brought down a little bit, or not brought down, but just it's not so I don't know, man. The only la palabra que tengo en mente is pretentious, que like I gotta use big words. I need to do this and that to impress people. And no, man, like la pura neta is that we're not that como I mean I'm como yo soy Chicano, like I didn't grow up that way. Like you don't have to pretend, you don't have to try to show off or bolster. We can, pero I try to make it in a way where we can understand it without needing a dictionary, you know? I mean, if we're in the, yeah.
Sí, 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 muchas gracias. Aquí el profesor David pregunta, what formal decisions were necessary to keep the political experience from becoming purely discourse, like to avoid being overtly political, but political at the same time?
No, no, yeah, no, that's yeah, man. It's a very, um, so, um, if a profile or Harfeth, if you guys can help me translate, la cosa era que like I try to bring it from my experience and the people around me. So
Traté de recuperar de mi experiencia y de la gente que me rodea,
yeah, and so lo quería como un like a microcosm.
un microcosmo.
Uh, and so like I mean, it's influenced by I Am Joaquin and Grapes of Wrath, a donde que like si es de una persona, pero la persona or the experience habla por todos, it speaks for the larger experience.
La experiencia habla por todos.
And so como empieza, and it's not just me, it's not autobiographical, it's not biographical. It's a combined experience, my experience and the people around me. And I try to put it in there because I felt that, well, if I don't have that experience and they had that experience, but we're the same raza, we came from the same barrio, then we're the same story. But anyway, the main thing is the main question is like how do you keep it from being too political and not only about the politics? It starts off just about la familia, and then it kind of it builds up and it builds up, and then by the time we get to the second to last chapter, chapter 6, um, these cuates, these twins are in college, and they think, I mean, se las pasan. They think they're all good because they're in college now and they're better than everybody. And they find out, no, man, like they have to get humbled and learn about their history, their culture, la cultura, Chicano studies, and so on. And then it kind of las llantas, like they start spinning in their head, like the wheels get spun into motion, where now they become political, but it's mostly them. And so they learn about the Chicano movement. They learn about like the real story behind La Llorona. They learn about like the real story behind the Dodger Stadium, the ravine. They learn about um the larger history of like Arrasa. And then they become agitational and what's the word? Radicalized. And they go to marches and rallies.
Radicalizados, ajá, sí, claro, protesta.
So it is political, but that's reserved mostly for that section. But if you want to pull politic out of it, or politics, I mean, what como arte, like what art isn't political, you know? I mean, the experience
Ujú.
of the individual
Sí,
or the community is a result of the base structure that formulates the superstructural and becomes like, a form or a way to express or do political or radical kind of like action. Um, yeah, I'm sorry I'm going on and on, but I started from a small similar space, and then I kind of branched out and branched out and branched out, and then it eventually, yeah, it tapped into like larger political kind of like agitation. Yeah.
gracias. Sí, pues el arte siempre es político. Aquí, Chuck Anubes levantó la mano, quiere participar.
Hola, primero, más que nada, quiero darle mis congratulations al amigo aquí, Alex. Ese es un gran honor de que haya creado una narrativo que explica o que dice de la experiencia chicana, mexicana aquí en los Estados Unidos.
Mm.
Para muchos de nosotros, en particular aquí de Los Ángeles, sí agarra una historia muy diferente de una persona que crece en las fronteras, como de Texas. Y más que nada, pues sí, así que como estar leyéndolo, pues nos da como ánimo, ¿verdad? Nos llega una emoción porque es una representación que pueda ser ficcional, es algo que nos llega al alma. Y ahorita, pues muchas cosas que están pasando en la tierra, ¿verdad? En particular aquí donde le llamamos Aztlán,
Mm.
tierras ocupadas, tierras del indígena americano como mexicano. Y, y nomás quería, pues sí, me llega al alma porque no se habla de esto lo suficiente. Y el crear estos bridges, ¿verdad? Puentes de historia, de lenguaje, de amor a nuestra gente, es lo que nos sube, no en un sentido egotística, pero en un sentido espiritual, que nos levanta el alma en tiempos así que, o sea, nos cuesta hablar a veces a muchos de nosotros,
Yeah.
en particular hasta en nuestros propios círculos de sociales, ¿verdad? Que hablan de la historia chicana porque a uno lo quieren hacer al lado. porque tienes unos términos muy políticos, porque hablas de cosas muy pesadas, pero es parte de nuestras experiencias y es parte de sanar, es parte de renacer como un ser humano. Y en mi experiencia de leer este libro, eso es lo que siento, ¿verdad? Y pues ahorita estoy como estudiando un poquito más, pues mi carrera, el comienzo de una universidad, y estoy tomando unas clases que requieren para entrar a una universidad aquí, y esa es African American, de la historia del africano que fue desplazado o completamente abandonado de sus tierras para la explotación de los Estados Unidos. Y eso pues me trae mucho también, mucho sentimiento, porque hablan también de la historia de México y cómo se robaron las tierras, ¿verdad? Lo que llamamos ahora en Aztlán. So, esto es algo muy bonito, Alex, y, y pues sí, lo siento mucho um, y yo siento que hablas mucho de como de tu experiencia, pero de tu experiencia aquí, no sé si creciste en el Valle de San Fernando.
Okay.
Entonces, esa experiencia de un chicanito aquí en el Valle de San Fernando es grande porque hay muchas cosas que nos diferencian como chicanos. Hay muchos muchachos, muchachas, um, y gente que es genderqueer, que no se identifican con la mayoría de la gente, incluso con creamos nuevas identidades, ¿verdad? Para establecernos. Y algo que agarré de este libro es de, hay ciertas personalidades, ¿verdad? Que no tenemos como una opción y causa toxicity, cosas ambientales que nos causan que tengamos como autismo o Asperger's. Y para mí, eso es como ese narrativo es como un constante como creación en nuestra cabeza que sigue y sigue y sigue. Y yo no sé si te identificas con ADHD, pero eso para mí como que suena mucho así, ¿verdad? Por eso quería decirte que para mí eso como que me suena eso. And so, I don't know, I just feel seen. Y te agradezco, me siento como que estás hablando por muchos de nosotros, pero sin querer queriendo, ¿verdad? O como que sí, porque sabes que, ok, otra cosa que quería hablar es de que cuando, como por ejemplo, mi mamá viene de Zacatecas, de un ranchito, ¿verdad? Y ella, pues, tuvo 10 hijos, yo soy la más chica. Y cuando ella habla como en un sentido como nosotros, ¿verdad?
Okay. Yeah.
Y going back to the yo, ¿verdad? No,
Yeah.
no somos yo, somos nosotros, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Siempre hablaba como así, para pues crear obligaciones para los demás, para que trabajaran, oh, watch yourself, mírense. Y siempre hablaba de como de nosotros, ¿verdad? Y eso para mí, eso es grande también. Anyway, gracias.
No, thank you, hermano. Thank you.
Gracias, gracias. Aquí nada más para comentar algo brevemente. La profesora Alexandra Treder, ella es alemana, está como lectora aquí en la FES Acatlán.
Ajá.
Dice que planea enviar tu libro a Alemania, a sus colegas que enseñan inglés allá, para que tengan una visión diferente de Estados Unidos. En la gente alemana que aprende español, ¿no? Scott, I think that's great news. So they like to send the book to Germany, so it
Yeah,
would be
that's what I was gonna say.
great.
Háblale con el Scott. Él es el güey
Yeah,
que
Scott.
we're a team. It's a team of editors. Hay un chingo de raza like that's involved in our Maíz Pop and Press.
Ajá,
Pero el Scott, like he was the first one, like, hey man, aquí traes algo que sí pega, like, hey, like,
sí.
you know? And so he me ayudó por unos, what is it, Scott, like 2 or 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
It's been a good time. Se creció nació como like a 5-page poem, hasta que ya, like, I mean, hermana, profa, you read it, like, it's like a whole book, you know? And
Muy largo poema.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And el Scott nunca me dijo que no se puede, me dijo que, ok, pues, si lo vas a hacer, hazlo bien. Like, if you're gonna do it, like, make sure, it's good.
Sí, Scott,
And,
aquí está
hey,
Alexandra, mira, quiere hablar.
yeah, Alejandra, por favor.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for your book. I think it's very great. I mean, sure, I have another kind of view on it, I guess, because my experience is very different.
Ah,
But I already sent the link to the book from the website to a friend in Germany. And I know she can kind of share it with other people. So I think that could be very, very interesting for students who learn English and Spanish, because there is an ongoing debate, but it's quite recent on the criticism on Eurocentric views and post-colonial views. So I think this book can really like move something on the critical thinking part of the students as well, because there are very strict images that are portrayed about the US, and I think that could move the students. So thanks a lot. I think this is a very great book.
thank you. Can I know we're running a lot over time, but can I share some of the images in the book? Are we okay with that?
Marta and Jeffrey,
Yeah, is okay? Like,
Sí, sí,
you.
sí, no hay problema. 5 minutos sin problema. Claro. No
órale,
problem. You
let
may
me,
go ahead. Got 5 minutes.
okay, let me share the
You're right.
screen and then share. And then I have this folder. These are some of the images in the book. Is this coming up as full screen?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Could be bigger. Could be bigger. It's
Yeah.
it's like half a
Can,
page.
can we hit mute, everybody, please? There you go. Okay. So this is a conceptual what the cover was gonna be. Is this coming in for you guys? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay, let me
Yes.
so
It's still small.
yeah.
oh,
So this is the
Who
actual
designed the pictures?
me.
all right.
He's the
Yeah,
artist. Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
He's actually has done a lot of book covers for the Chicano community and like event posters, and yeah, so that's how I actually knew him first. Just to interject.
Yeah, I started off in Basel like, with like a cool looking art. Chican
Is that your title page?
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he got frozen a little.
He's frozen, yeah.
But my have him back in a minute.
Is that the book cover?
That's the book cover.
Oh, great. Thank you, Scott. And Alex painted that, huh? Or drew it. Kind of small.
Alex, are you there?
There must be some glitch, unfortunately, so got to wait probably a little. Oh yeah.
Well,
Pues mientras regresa, no sé si Scott quiera
Consuelo. Well, sure, yeah, we can give the room to
cerrar con algo y ya
Scott
para
Puzzle.
terminar.
Yes, we can give a room. Yeah, just to
Well, I would just say a couple of
finish.
things. I mean, I think people have already been saying how much they connected. I mean, to me, one thing that the book brings to light is the Chicano experience. It's a very wide experience. Like Alex and I are, I'm also from Southern California, but my family's Californio, and the U.S. invaded us and took everything. But it's still, it was a Mexican colony. They say Spanish California, but it's really Mexican California. It's always um, but I always say you walk into each other's homes and they're the same, and like we have the culture, right? I mean, I believe this is about the family coming from Jalisco, I believe, but I connect with it just as much as everybody else. And so I think, this is, you see this is a unique book. Yeah, and it's yeah, I mean, as far as like, I guess we wait for Alex, but yeah, the language, it's that the way he spells like cinco with Sinko, that's what all kids do in classrooms when they're bored, or they write on the walls in high school like cinco, they write it in kind of this weird anglicized spelling. So yeah, it's a unique book to even hold and check out, because you kind of see this kind of spirit of play and going from language to language. But I'm also the editor and publisher, so I know you guys aren't going to listen to me because I'm, supposed to be here to say good things.
Muchas gracias, Scott. De veras es un placer y un orgullo tener este libro que acaba de publicarse, como les puse, en abril de este año. O sea, recién salido, la primera obra literaria del indio, y pues es un orgullo tenerla aquí en el Centro de Enseñanza de Idiomas en la FES Acatlán. Muchas gracias, Jafret, Marta, por el
Claro.
espacio.
Yo creo que podríamos tener, perdón, Martita, podríamos tener luego una conferencia, una aproximación a la producción artística del poeta, pero ya una cuestión más personal para ver una conferencia y ya que él nos explique formas simbólicas, no sé, representaciones, toda esta iconografía que tal vez a nosotros no la conocemos mucho, bueno, pero que nos puede enseñar demasiado lo que es el intermundo, ¿no? Que estamos aquí observando en pleno y pues entender nosotros y los otros que están allá y en de la frontera, que siempre ha sido así, que es un tópico que a muchos de nosotros nos preocupa y nos apasiona.
Yo estoy de acuerdo y una hora fue prácticamente muy poco para invitarlo, ¿no?
Claro, pues yo invite Scott and